it would appear that we're going to have a bunch of game fours and that my really busy days are going to continue. Because I thought, if we get a bunch of sweeps, then that would make the end of the week kind of, quiet. They have the round robin. No. And this was what I was worried about. So remember, Arizona wins game one. I forgot. But Arizona won game one 4-3. And that was a game where they stormed out. They did really well. And then in the third, and it felt like Nashville was taking over the game. And I thought, they need to reverse that going into game two or they're in trouble. They kind of did. And yet Arizona showed there's still some work to be done here. So I do apologize for the blind spot in the preview. Arizona was up 1-0 going into this game. Didn't matter. Maybe it threw them off. Maybe they watched the preview and they're like, are we really behind? Did Shannon get that wrong? Is he a day ahead? Does he know we're going to lose today? Is that what happened? That's it. That's it. I spoiled it. I let you guys know who was going to win the game today, and I apologize. Power play for Forsberg on a penalty in the opening. Power play for Arizona on a Forsberg penalty in the opening seconds. As in, I turned this game on and I'm like, wait, power play? When it just started. Okay, so it's like 5 seconds in and Forsberg's in the box. Saros passed the early test, and it felt like that was important. After the game he had in game one, it felt like it was important that Saros passed the test in this one. I was actually a little bit surprised they didn't go with Rene, but, that's the way that they're playing it. And it worked out pretty well. The Coyotes were hitting and controlling their early play, and they did. The Coyotes looked pretty good out of the gate. So Arizona doing what they had to try to go up 2-0. Fisher had a chance that was in close. He has a near miss there. I thought Christian Fischer had a decent game. And then Hall takes a penalty and the Preds go to the power play. Hall was not happy about that penalty. They don't score on the power play, but 8 seconds after the power play ended, it's Nick Bonino getting a goal from Grimaldi and Ekholm at 7:50. So Nick Bonino, with all of his experience, not necessarily a huge surprise to see him on the scoreboard, but he gets that goal and puts him up 1-0. Saros then denied Keller. The Coyotes were pushing for the tie. They were up 6-2 in shots halfway through this period. 6-2. On the third shot, Ryan Johansson scores. So at 10:27, Johansson scores on that third shot, and honestly, Kemper needs to stop that. The first goal, good goal. That second one, that's not a goal that you want to be allowing at the NHL level. And it was tough to watch that because Arizona was deserving of a better fate to that stage of the game. Yossi takes a penalty. The Coyotes get a power play. They don't get anything out of that. We then have 4-on-4 with 2:59 left for the 2-minute period. But Saros, he's a wall. He preserves the 2-goal lead. And after the first period, while Arizona was controlling the puck, Nashville was ahead. Once we reached the second period, it's like Nashville said between the first and second, okay, we can get this. So, second period, Predators started better than they did start the first. Long stretch without a whistle. I think it was like 4 minutes. And then Yarncroke puts it in the net from Sissons and Yossi at 6:02. That's the 9th shot by Nashville. And to that stage, the Coyotes had 0 shots in the second period. So this is where Nashville says, all right, we've got a chance. We're going to even up the series. We're going to take it over. And they're up 3-0. The Predators swarming at that stage. The Coyotes were under siege. And Kyle Turris hits the post. Almost made it 4-0. That was the kind of game that it was for the Arizona Coyotes at that stage. The shots had evened up. Because remember, Arizona controlled the shot clock in the first period. And the energy was on the Preds side. And oddly enough, Kemper seemed to really settle down after that third goal. He played well. He did. And yet, we're going to discuss that second goal is my guess. That second goal is the one that really hurts. And when you look at the overall game, that's the one that hurts. Ronta then leaves the bench, and Aiden Hill was the backup. And they confirmed in between the second and third period, Ronta was unfit to play. It's 2020. We see these things now and we just go, it's 2020. Remember, the NHL revealed yesterday 0 positive tests. So I don't know what it was with Ronta. We can speculate away. I know people will in the comment section, but Ronta's out. Too many men called in on the Predators. The Coyotes go to the power play, and that didn't last as Hall takes a penalty 24 seconds later, and it was a 4-minute high stick. And again, so that's 6 penalty minutes for Taylor Hall, pulls them off the power play when they really needed one. And so it's 3-0 going into the third period. The Coyotes did make the push early in the third. Kemper and Saros both looked sharp early on. But it was pretty obvious once you reach the third period and it's 3-0 that Nashville is going to win this game. And there wasn't really any doubt in my mind. I would think probably not any doubt in the mind of most Preds fans. But things do get interesting before it's over. Good chance for Turris on a turnover. There were some turnovers by Arizona today, and that's something they're going to have to deal with going into Game 3, because clearly Nashville opportunistic with their goals. The Predators were leading in shots at that point, and they were confident. They were in control of the game. Krause then goes to the net, leading to a scrum. Lawson Krause really doing his best to shift disturb in that third period, and he's good at that. And definitely, got some Nashville players upset. There was then a delay of game penalty on Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Preds go to the power play. And shorthanded, great save by Kemper. So Kemper did have a good third period until on the power play, Arvidsson scores from Johansson at 13:49. Shortly before that, Arvidsson had a really great chance that Kemper had set aside. And here Arvidsson gets it. So that makes it 4-0. Game over, right? I'm glad I kept watching. And it's one of those things where it's sort of like, I could just turn this off now. I should keep watching. At 19:02, Clayton Keller scores from Stepan. And then 10 seconds later, while they're like, well, he broke the shutout, Krause scores from Fischer and Soderberg at 19:12. So they win the face-off. They pull the goalie, as you do when you're down 4-2 with less than a minute left. And the Coyotes weren't taking the shot. And you could hear Tyson Nash saying, why aren't they shooting? Why do you take the shot? If you're a defenseman at the point, you take the shot. They need 2. So for the last 20 seconds, the Coyotes announcers were kind of beside themselves trying to figure out what the plan was here, because they pulled the goalie and then didn't take a shot. I don't think they had a shot while they had the 6-on-5, and they made it easier for Nashville to bring this home. So Nashville wins the game 4-2. The series is tied at 1 now that both teams have a win. So they play again tomorrow. Does this favor Nashville? Does it favor Arizona? For me, I will always lean towards the team that won the first game of the 2 in a back-to-back. So I do think it favors Nashville, although the next game, Arizona gets last change. So if you believe in the whole line matching and having that last change as the home ice team, then Arizona gets an advantage in the next game. The shots were 14-5 Arizona in the first period. 10-4 in favor of Nashville in the second. Like I said, it was a seismic shift. And then in the third, it continued. Nashville outshot them 13-8. Keep in mind, of those 8 shots, 2 of those are the goals in the last minute. So it was 13-6 outside of those 2 shots. 28-26 overall in favor of Nashville. The hits were 27-23 in favor of Nashville. Just a dominant game by the Preds. Power plays, Arizona 0 for 3. Nashville 1 for 4. So Arizona needs some of the penalty kill mojo they've had at times, especially when you looked at last year's numbers. Last year's numbers were ridiculous. And they need to bounce back tomorrow, because whoever wins the game tomorrow very, very likely wins the series. Kemper saved 24 out of 28. Keep in mind, he saved 6 out of 9 to start the game. So he saved 18 out of 19 after that. Cannot afford to get off to a slow start tomorrow. He is going to be the starter tomorrow. Whatever's going on with Ronta, he is going to be starting tomorrow. And UC Saros, 24 saves on 26 shots for him. Pretty good game all around. It was enjoyable and low scoring, comparatively speaking, with what you might have thought would happen when it was 3-0 6 minutes into the second period. But Nashville played their game, and for Arizona, you have to realize what you did in the first period was pretty good. You have to realize that you were up 14-5 in shots. You just didn't get the puck luck. You didn't get the breaks. And just keep it up and hope that Saros has a poor start for Game 3 as he did with Game 1. So we'll see these teams on the ice again tomorrow. when we have 6 games tomorrow, and I'm starting to think there'll be 6 games every day all the way through till the 9th. We'll just go ahead. Every series goes to 5. Wouldn't that be amazing? I will say this. The intensity level is picking up. I know there's been people I've seen in the comment section saying, this isn't as good as normal playoff hockey. I'm out. I'm not watching it. I'm done. I think that's a mistake. This has been some pretty intense hockey, and the analysts are talking about, the intensity level and the way that things are different in this setup, obviously without fans, but there's some benefits to the players that and some benefits to us as fans where we can hear things, where we can clearly hear the referee yelling at them to move it, get it out, knock it off, you're going. Like I've heard referees yelling at players. It's been great, and I think it's been enjoyable. But hey, let me know your thoughts regarding this game in the comment section below. Does Nashville have it back, or is Arizona still going to come out with the upset? Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.